So today at ETInfra, we are joined by Professor Manoranjan Parida. Now, he is one of the key persons in the Indian infrastructure sector. He currently is director at CSIR Central Road Research Institute, as well as president at Indian Road Congress. Now, over the last 10 to 12 years, India has seen massive infrastructure boom and investment. And in order to ensure that this infrastructure boom in terms of roads and tunnels and everything else has adequate infrastructure capability and quality, then the role of all these institutions come into play. So, Mr. Professor Parida, really appreciate you joining us out here at ETInfra. You are at the helm of two very important, institute in the Indian road sector, CRRI and Indian Road Congress. If you could, briefly introduce us the significance of these two institutes.
So thank you very much. I must acknowledge this opportunity provided by ETInfra. To start with, CSR Central Road Research Institute is the institute which was created in 1952. It's a 73-year-old institution. I have been working as a director of CRRI since September 2022. This institute has been at the forefront with respect to road infrastructure development in the country since post-independence. To talk about Indian Roads Congress, where I am currently the president, this is a 90 years old organization. It is essentially responsible for the development of codes of practices, various guidelines that guides the development of roads and bridges in the country.
Sir, at CRRI, being the technological know-how and research institute, it has a lot of extensive, working relationship with the road sector bodies such as NHAI, BRO, and the others. If you could, elaborate, because since now NHAI and BRO, at the Himalayan frontiers are so aggressively and extensively involved in road construction. If you could help us understand your current engagement with these bodies, because I'm quite sure without your guidance and technological sharing with them, much of it won't be possible. So if you could a little bit share on that.
CSR Central Road Research Institute is part of Ministry of Science and Technology. We work with the various ministries of Government of India. To start with the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, with Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Rural Development, then Ministry of Textiles, Ministry of Steel. And besides this, we work with many state governments also. Currently, we have a lot of projects from Government of Odisha, then Government of Uttar Pradesh. Even we have projects in Government of Karnataka with Government of Assam. So we are operating pan India, and our associations are sometimes specifically with respect to providing solutions. Like for the Government of Odisha, there are three major projects we are doing. One is structural health monitoring of 334 bridges, then road safety audit for 7,000 kilometer of state highway network in Odisha, and we are also preparing a maintenance plan for 23,000 lane kilometer of road network in the state of Odisha. So these are the various projects we are working on. Currently, we are doing technology trials with respect to use of EcoFix, which is a technology for pothole repair for the state of Karnataka, for the state of Assam. We have done recent trials with government of Tamil Nadu and government of Delhi. So,
Right.
and you
Sir,
talked about the border roads. So, regarding border roads, in fact, we are now working with them for uses of a technology which is called RIZUPEP. The technology has been very effective in high altitude road network, and we also did a trial for border roads in this Bhutan.
Sir, you now elaborated your engagements with the government, bodies, the state government as well as the other government-backed institutions. Also wanted to understand in terms of your engagement with the private sector, because I do understand that obviously NHAI and the others subcontract the road projects to the other players, and predominantly now the private players have come in. Your engagement with the private players now that they're so heavily involved in India's road construction?
Yeah, so to give examples of the private sector, I'll say we work very effectively with the industry. So there are various technologies which are licensed to the private sector. I mentioned about RIZUPEP technology, which has been transferred to the industries. Other than that, there is one technology, RIZUBIT technology. Then EcoFix, the pothole repair technology, has been also transferred to the industry. We have a technology for the design and installation of noise barriers. So these are the technologies which has been licensed to the industry. We have worked with the four major steel industries in the country for production of steel slag aggregates from steel slag. So those industries, I would like to take names: ArcelorMittal, Nippon Steel, then JSW Steel, Tata Steel, RINL. So with all these industries, the CRI technology on steel slag aggregates, they have been shared with these industries.
Sir, in my research when I was doing on CRRI, focus on geosynthetics is something that I saw very, elaborately. I think
Yeah.
the organization has really worked upon it and something really pushing it out there in terms of adoption in the road sector. If you could elaborate, the institute's own engagement in terms of developing a know-how of geosynthetics and how far, it has been successful and what are the plans ahead?
Yeah, so you have really touched upon a very important aspect of CRI. We are part of the National Technical Textile Missions, which is from Ministry of Textiles, where we have a mandate to train 1,000 BTech civil engineering students in application of geosynthetics for road infrastructure development. So currently, our training program is going on at Hyderabad at VNR VJIT, that's the engineering college. We have completed three training programs: one at NIT Goa, the other one at SRKR Engineering College, Bhimabaram, and also at the Galgotias University. So besides this, we have worked with the Border Roads Organization. We have worked with CPWD. So for difficult terrain conditions, different difficult geographical locations, we have recommended the design of road infrastructure by using geosynthetics. In fact, by this, it is possible to require. It's possible to reduce the requirement of natural resources which is required for the road construction, and especially areas which are prone to landslides, which are prone to, say, difficult geo terrain conditions in the hilly areas, in the Himalayas. These geosynthetic materials has been very useful.
Sir, as you elaborated in terms of the adoption of geosynthetics in, versatile and difficult environmental conditions, also I wanted to understand when you do incorporate this new technology, does the cost of the road construction, does it increase vis-a-vis the normal road construction because now you're incorporating a new technology or a know-how, or are the costs, mitigated in one way or the other?
I'll say that we try to ensure that there is a long-term benefit while you are using these new technologies. So maybe initial capital cost might be a little higher, but when you carry out a life cycle cost analysis, if you take a long-term perspective, so then they are going to be providing more sustainable solutions. Especially like I gave you an example, if you are using geosynthetic, the thickness of the pavement layers are going to be reduced. So that will reduce the uses of the materials also. And in many cases, like if you are doing a road construction by using steel slag aggregates, it's leading to higher, it's going to lead towards increased life of the pavement. So if you carry out the life cycle cost analysis over a longer period, they are going to be economically viable in comparison to the conventional technology.
Right. And a follow up on that, has the industry, adopted, is there, they are more welcoming to this geosynthetics? And how much of our road construction, especially on those difficult terrains, on the Himalayas and mountain terrains, how much of that adoption has taken place?
I'll say that it's quite popular, especially in the last 5 years. There has been a lot of road construction taking place in border areas. We have something close to 28,000 kilometers of road network being developed in the different frontier areas of the country. So for those areas, these geosynthetic materials has proven to be quite useful, and CRI has been providing technical solutions. Then you have a entire gamut of industry which is quite active in geosynthetics. So in terms of technology availability and also deployment on site, we have adequate resources. So that has been quite useful in terms of uses of geosynthetics for road infrastructure development in critical areas.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's very, heartening to, know that these types of, technology are now being adopted to make our road infrastructure more, robust and of high quality. But also I would like to, follow up on that question, because in the recent past, we have also seen, some in states, in Bihar and all, bridges have collapsed. We have
Mhm.
two serious, one recent, happened very recently in terms of the, tunnel collapse. I'm quite do understand that when I speak to stakeholders, they do say that the L1 criteria is also one of the
Mhm.
factors where maybe this certain accidents are happening. So I would like to take your take from a technical and in a science perspective in terms of where do CRRI can come in and sort of really set the benchmark in terms of technology, where our and we have to undertake this difficult construction of tunnels in our Himalayan regions and others, that we come up this sort of a technical know-how and a process where the construction of these tunnels and these bridges are much more formidable and of high quality.
So that's a very interesting question. I'll just start with the bridges. CRI has undertaken a study of condition monitoring of 334 bridges in the state of Odisha. And we have observed bridges which are 50 years old are in a much better condition vis-a-vis the bridges which are younger. So I don't see technology as a challenge. There are issues with respect to the quality of constructions, the technological diligence with which we are designing, we are constructing. So if they are compromised, probably that can lead towards the failure. So that is one. But then definitely there has been a lot of means alertness with respect to the failure of these bridges. People keep questioning where is the engineering. So due diligence and the quality of constructions are certainly they are going to help. So there is no substitute for that. But at the same time, definitely we can strengthen our technical manpower in terms of training. In terms of tunneling, in fact, we have very limited experience, expertise with respect to the tunnel technology. But yes, through Indian Road Congress works with other international bodies like the International Tunnel Association of India. We are taking their help, and there was a dedicated conference conducted by IRC on tunnel technology. But I understand that through a focused approach with maybe we can have a center for tunnel technology, we can have exclusive training programs by which it is possible to strengthen the technology, the implementation of the tunnels, and also avoid the failure of the tunnels, which the country has witnessed in the recent past.
I mean, I would just like to understand, in terms of like you elaborated that in terms of tunnel, the know-how is still not very adequate out here in India. So, in terms from CRRI itself, going forward, is there any plans within CRRI where you have a specific department itself or a research institute embedded within CRI, which will probably research and do groundwork in terms of the tunnel construction in India?
So that's a very good question. I'll say that at least there are two divisions in Central Road Research Institute which are connected to the tunnel technology. As such, we don't have much projects on tunnel technology, but our division of bridge engineering and structures, then our geotechnical engineering division, we can we can strengthen them so that we can take up activities around tunneling technology.
Right. Sir, my last question, going forward, if you could give us a sort of a glimpse in terms of new R&D technology that CRI is sort of, working on. And I understand you're a body, research body under overall a government institution, but what sort of a R&D cost investment are you looking forward to?
Yeah. So, in terms of technology, I'll say that one of our major focus is usage of various industrial waste for road construction. So that talks about using the steel slag waste from the steel industry, then the alumina waste, that is the red mud, then the zinc waste. So all these waste they can be used for road construction. CRI in the past has very successfully utilized fly ash for road construction under the fly ash mission. So similarly, we want to contribute very actively to the waste to wealth concept by using various waste material for the road infrastructure development. So that is one. The other major thing we people are working is on substitution of asphalt. The country imports say 50% of its bitumen requirement from abroad. So we are now working on usage of like to process various agricultural waste to the production of biobinder. Like from rice husk, it is possible to generate bio oil, which can be modified with the bitumen. And we are expecting 10 to 30% of substitution of bitumen by utilizing this agriculture waste and the biobitumen. Plus, we have two divisions working on traffic engineering and safety, transport planning and environment, where we are trying to work on using artificial intelligence and machine learning concepts for improving the road safety operations on the transport network. So these are like a few areas we are looking at where we can contribute in a substantial manner with respect to road infrastructure development in the immediate future.
Right. And what sort of a, financial support, investment support, if at all, are you looking forward from the government going forward?
I'll say that like our activities are sponsored both by the government and by the industry. So in terms of support, we have adequate support. Like we get support from the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, from National Highway Authority of India. But other than the financial resources, we need live case studies. In fact, we develop the technology or the material in the lab, but we need to do the trials actually on the ground. So those field stretches are provided by NHI, by BRO, by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, by NHI, DCL, even the state governments. So the partnership with these agencies in terms of developing pilot stretches are more critical rather than finance. In fact, getting live case studies where we can apply our ideas, where we can do the trials, so that basically can strengthen on the particular technology.
So that would be all from my side, Professor Parida. It was really nice, having this conversation with you and getting to know so much about both these institutes are doing for the Indian road sector. It was really a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.